Hello, I'm Kelly Hoover for Santa Barbara Homesite. We are here at the exquisite Sunstone Winery estate located in the heart of the Santa Ynez Valley, just 30 minutes north of Santa Barbara. If you visited Sunstone Winery before, you know just how beautiful it is. But you probably haven't seen the rest of this gorgeous estate or heard the compelling story behind why it was built. We're going to take you on an all-access tour of the property, starting with the Villa SunTerra and the lucky people who get to call this place home.
Hello, I'm Brian Rice. Welcome to our family's home, Villa SunTerra. My sons and my wife and I live here, and I'd love to show you around. Come on in.
It's hard to believe when you step foot into the 8,500 square foot Villa SunTerra that it was built fairly recently. This magnificent estate was completed in 2004, but because 80% of the home is built out of reclaimed and recycled materials from France, it has the look and feel of being a French country chateau, which is exactly what its designers Fred and Linda Rice had in mind.
I think they have an affinity for old countryside barns and real rustic elements. And so when they discovered these quarries and these reclamation yards in France, they absolutely went crazy.
Brian's parents had purchased the property for Sunstone Winery in 1989 and wanted to build a family home for their 3 children, Ashley, Brian, and Brittany, on the hillside above the vineyard. They found all the inspiration they needed on a life-changing trip.
Sunstone was kind of born out of the idea of wanting to live on a vineyard. They traveled to France and fell in love with that whole vintner's lifestyle. And they loved French wines, and they thought, that's something they really wanted to be a part of or create here in Santa Ynez.
It didn't hurt that Fred Rice was a third-generation builder and Linda a brilliant designer.
My mother was the genius behind the motif and the look and feel and the design, and she happened to marry one of the best builders in California. What a perfect marriage. So he could build pretty much anything she could dream up.
This time, they outdid themselves, creating an incredible blend of the old and the new. They shipped over 45 containers each, carrying 40,000 pounds of materials they found in France. It took them 3 years to get it done, but in the end, it was a masterpiece.
I want to put it up on a pedestal for them and say this is the greatest work they ever worked together on. And I was so happy that they got to live in this wonderful home, and now, obviously, they're passing it on to the next generation, so it's now a legacy as well.
Brian never expected to live in this home, but when his mother passed away last year from cancer and his father didn't want to live here without her, Brian and his wife Anna, who together owned and operated Artiste Winery in Healdsburg at the time, knew moving here was the right thing to do.
Things changed when she passed away, and Anna and I both kind of refocused our priorities and realized that this really truly is a special thing and it's worth saving.
Now Brian, Anna, and their 2 sons, Miles and Mason, live at Villa SunTerra. They consider it a privilege and a responsibility. His parents' legacy is found in the intricate details of this carefully thought-out home, from the old stone over the front door inscribed with the year 1782, to the walls and floors of the home, which are covered with reclaimed French limestone, to Brian's favorite room in the house, the kitchen.
All of us love this room. Every night we sit here at this amazing 1800s draper's table and we eat dinner together as a family. And it's just so reminiscent of France and that bucolic culture that they have, and sharing food with family and friends. And I think the kitchen really symbolizes not only our own values as a family, but also our company's values.
The Rices love to entertain their friends in the kitchen and find they spend most of their time in this room. One of the most historic pieces in the house is the kitchen sink, which is more than 1,000 years old. There is a wood fire oven and a fireplace from the Bordeaux region of France, which had to be taken apart and reassembled in the house. Throughout the home are pine beams that are more than 200 years old and were reclaimed from Queen Victoria's lavender soap factory in Marseille.
This is our wine cellar, and it's an original prison cell door from Normandy. It was built by Napoleon's army to capture, prisoners from the wars. It's got its original looking glass here and the pass-through for the food. And the whole piece, it's one huge piece that we brought over in a container.
The door leads down into the spacious cellar that has a wine library containing bottles of every Sunstone vintage created since 1994. There are 5 bedroom suites, each with a view of the mountains or vineyards. The open floor plan makes the incredible views easy to see from many points in the house, including the two-person tub. But the best view in the house happens to also be one of Vian's favorite spots, the bell tower. It's also a great place to check out one of the most unique features of the home, the roof.
We have some really kind of colorful Spanish tiles, what look like Spanish tiles. They're actually handmade tiles that were formed on people's legs, back in the late 1800s. And so each one of them is a unique shape.
The home is fully green certified and has in-floor solar heating. No formaldehyde was used in the construction, and a Perform wall panel system for structural stability was used, which makes the home fire and mold resistant. Just as the villa was created with the environment in mind, so was the rest of this 56-acre estate. Sunstone wine is 100% organic and estate grown and has been since day one, since the first plantings back in 1990. Sunstone was one of the first organic wineries in the valley and remains one of the largest.
We actually believe that by not spraying any herbicides or pesticides, we're actually gaining momentum in creating a better crop, better quality wines, and of course, not be surrounding ourselves with chemicals.
The only exception is the use of sulfides, which Sunstone winemakers believe are necessary for taste and transportation of the wine.
We actually use age-old practices that date back before Christ. Sulfur has been a natural ingredient that's been used in making wine for a number of reasons and for many, many generations, and that is to prevent the wine from browning or oxidizing.
One of the trickiest parts of Sunstone's approach to winemaking is its commitment to not using herbicides and pesticides and allowing nature to take its course.
We actually encourage owls, bats, snakes, a wide variety of different animals to create a balance.
The philosophy at Sunstone is that great wine starts in the vineyard. Of the 28 acres of vineyards, 18 of them are Merlot, which is what Sunstone is best known for, and which are most suited for the property. The Santa Ynez Valley has a diverse climate that includes mild winters, which allow the grapes to hang on the vine longer, and for the strong varietal flavors to develop.
You can see we're here in June 2nd, and what you can see here is that we've had flowering already developed and set. The fruit has already set. So we have very young, immature berries here. And come July, August, these berries will develop and turn purple or through what's called veraison. And then we'll end up picking this in October.
Besides the moderate climate, another ideal condition for grape growing at Sunstone is the natural drainage and irrigation system which is in place, a much-needed bonus considering the challenging soil in the Santa Ynez Valley.
Behind me here is an exposure of Monterey shale. This gives you a really good look at what is about 60 feet down below our vines. This is semi-vertical shale, so it doesn't hold any water. And you can see it's really brittle. It falls apart.
The crops are irrigated by water from Lake Cachuma along the Santa Ynez River, which runs parallel to the vineyard. Once the grapes pass the taste test and are harvested, they are carefully pressed and fermented and sit in French oak barrels for about 2 years before they are bottled and ready to serve. Everything is done right here on site. Sunstone Club members are the first to get to taste the outcome of all this hard work. Sunstone has barrel tasting for its members every weekend at its popular tasting room located on the property just down from the villa.
So we're tasting today out of the barrel our 2007 Syrah Reserve. So they're actually barrel bottling this today, and so it'll be ready probably in the next couple of weeks for purchase.
Sunstone is a favorite spot for many reasons. This group of members have been driving up from LA for years. Why do you love it?
Look at it.
It's a beautiful winery, and they have really amazing wines. Ambiance is great here. People are always good, and the quality of wines that you always seem to get from here are really good.
Make some really great red blends that are fabulous.
Just like the villa, the Rices designed the tasting room in the same French provincial style, which attracts some visitors just for the scenery.
We fell in love with it, and ever since then we really can't get rid of our membership because it's just so beautiful.
Sunstone caters to its loyal members and has set aside an entire Le Cave lounge area just for them to taste wine. The French Country Courtyard is a great picnic spot surrounded by rosemary and lavender. Sunstone has an average of 400 visitors every weekend and a staff that enjoys helping them.
Well, I love my bosses, I love the wine, I love the scenery, and it's just a very special place, very sentimental place for us all.
One thing Sunstone Winery is known for is being a great party spot. There are tons of weddings and special events here. If you would like to check it out for yourself, come to Sunstone Winery. It is open every day from 10 till 4. Thank you for joining us on our tour. I'm Kelly Hoover for Santa Barbara Homesite.